Who doesn't like a good underdog story? Sometimes, I think fragrances can fall into that category. Overlooked, forgotten, dismissed. Well, I have 5 of those that I think deserve way more love. Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews at 40-ish and under dollar range. Most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. And I got 5 fragrances that are extremely inexpensive. I think the most expensive one on here is like $20. The least expensive is under 10. And they are actually decent smelling. Some of them are very nice. The rest, I wear these fragrances. I think they smell good. Not just for the price, I think that they're good smelling fragrances overall. So, without talking too much, let's talk about 5 fragrances that punch way harder than their price tag. Up first is a fragrance that I used to see at Walmart all the time. There was 3 of them. There's a green one, like a beige, brown, orange one, and a blue one. And I have all 3 of them. But right now, I want to talk about Land of the Free Acadia. At Walmart, they were a little over $20, so I was able to smell these things before I purchased them. And when I found them, when I actually did smell them, or rather when I actually did purchase them, it was at the rack store. And they were like $9 or $8 or something like that. So this one has 3 notes that are listed in it: sea salt, cranberries, and pine needles. So what this also has, on top of all that stuff, this is a very salty fragrance. Salty in that tart cranberry, that crispy tart, like sour cranberry, right? The pine needles are there, giving it a little bit of fresh greenery, just a little bit, adding to that sea salt character. But on top of all that, it has a powdery nature. There's like a powdery heart in this thing, landing this somewhere in like a Bleu de Chanel style vibe, because it's crisp and tart, and somewhere along the lines there's some spices happening, and it's a little bit powdery, which is eerily similar to Bleu de Chanel. It doesn't smell just like it, but if you like the Bleu de Chanel scent profile and stuff, this one is right there with it. It doesn't project real heavy, but the overall performance isn't real bad either. So if you spray away with this one, if you give yourself 20 sprays with this thing, it'll last you a good 5 hours. You will have a nice scent bubble for hours. I was blown away with how long it actually lasted when I oversprayed, because when you spray like 3 or 4 times, it goes away after like 45 minutes or something. You're like, oh, well, that kind of stunk. So like I sprayed heavy with this thing, and lo and behold, there it was, reminding me that I was wearing this fragrance for hours afterwards. So for like under $10, you see this one at the rack stores, just pick it up, smell it, put a couple sprays in your hand, see how it vibes, because overall, it's a great smelling fragrance. This particular fragrance is one that I heard you guys screaming about for a little while. Yo, check this one out. It's really good for what it is. It's a really good clone. Really good for what it is. It's cloning Dior Sauvage. In my opinion, it's the Eau de Toilette. And I just never got it. Even though it was like $12 online, I just never purchased it. And then somebody said it has a magnetic cap. And then I went to one of those mom and pop's perfume stores, and they had it there. And I smelled it. Immediately I ordered that thing. I'm talking about Wisey Wise Territor Wild, and arguably the best in their lineup, in my opinion, because they do such a good job. There's other ones. The gold one is real nice. It's in 1 million. The blue one, I forget what it's called. It's a Versace Eros clone. It's really good. It's pretty darn close. But this one nails it. And it's not just the fact that it smells so much like Sauvage. Okay, it's missing a bit of that tart citrus right up top, and a bit of the vetiver in the base. Other than that, it's all there. It is all there. Magnetic cap, as promised. The thing that blew me away the most is how loud this thing is, how well it performs. I said this story before, and I'll keep on saying it, because when I was walking up to the garage, when I was doing air conditioning work, and I was walking up to the garage, and old boy was messing with the air handler, and I'm fixing to help, and he said, whatever you're wearing today is really strong. I'm going uphill into the garage, and you could smell me from there. So Don't spray heavy with this. It is Sauvage loud. So, and the performance doing side by side with this thing, it was neck and neck and maybe even a little bit louder right up top. Call me crazy, but I've checked it out several times. And side by side, for whatever reason, this thing, I think it's louder. I think it lasts longer and it's louder. The Sauvage is a little bit better quality, of course, and it's got that nice, crisp bergamot, refreshing right up top, and the vetiver giving it a bit of like an earthiness, and this one doesn't have so much of that. The dry down, they become more similar, but in the first like 45 minutes to an hour, that's where the main differences are. This just like all the other clones, I feel like are missing a lot of that bergamot. Salvo does a good job. This one doesn't have that much of it. I mean, it's in there, but not, it's like 80% as much. For under 15 bucks, if you like Sauvage, that's a no-brainer right here. This particular fragrance is, from all the research that I've done and from verification from other people, even some of you guys have said, yes, indeed, this was made in 1979. And so it's not the clone. It is the original. Cuba Gold. I got to, man. It's like $8 or $9. And I wore it again today. I wear it at night. I wear it out of the shower. I wear this thing. I do wear it. I don't know if you see the juice level's down here. I mean, it started way up here. It's down here. I do wear this thing. It gets you so much in the ballpark of Le Mans. It's like crazy. The one thing that this has, or that this doesn't have that Le Mans has, or I should say that Le Mans added that this doesn't have, is that freshness right up top. It's a little bit more of a minty freshness. It's a little bit more bright up top, the Le Mans. This one is like straight up powdery, lavender, vanilla, woody, vetiver, and like touches of like patchouli. More than anything else, powdery, a little bit creamy too at the same time, lavender, vanilla. If you don't like lavender, you don't like vanilla, you'll hate this. But you've probably smelled this before. And another thing that shocked me, I sprayed it on my hand just to do like a, let me see how well this thing's acting now. I've had it over a year now, so I gave it a good spray on my hand, 1 or 2, regardless. And I was at the gym. That was this morning. I smelled it up until like 5 o'clock. Working. After the gym, I went to work. I was cutting trees. That thing was pumping off my hand. Pumping off my hand. I could smell it over top my other fragrance, which wasn't a weak fragrance, by the way. But I could catch whiffs of this one. And it still gets compliments today. So the original Le Mans is fire. This thing, in my opinion, is fire. So underrated. It's unreal. I think when it came out, it was pretty hyped up, but now it's just overlooked. It's just like, whatever. It's just Cuba Gold. Check it out if you haven't smelled it. Give it a chance. If you like Le Mans, check this one out. It really is that good, especially for the price. It's under $10. Roll the dice on it. This fragrance, I've reviewed it one time, and I did like it. That's why I bought it, because I was able to smell it, and I picked it up. Somebody said that it reminded them of Terre d'Hermes. Very orangey kind of vetiver, like the skin of an orange and the juice of an, like all those qualities of like an actual like navel orange and vetiver. That's mainly what's happening in that fragrance. And I'll be darned if they weren't 100% correct. Black Oud by Blackstone. I don't really get a whole lot of oud in this thing. Bright, juicy, mouth-watering citrus. Little touches of spices and a good dose of wood. That warm cedar wood is what's listed in here, but I also get like a vetiver vibe. Almost a little bit of a dustiness at the same time. Refreshing, bright. Yeah, that bright orangey smell. That's not in here. There's bergamot and mahogany wood, vanilla, spiced amber, leather, and black pepper. That's what's listed. I get the spiced amber and the pepper and stuff. I get that stuff. But I'm getting like an orange feel. Orange, vetiver, powdery, spicy. If that was listed as the notes, I would believe it 100% because that's what I smell. The downside about this particular fragrance, you see I like it. I just keep on smelling it. I'm going to get it in the air too. It's darn good for the price. 15 bucks. Darn good for the price. As you can imagine, the performance is not the best. It's not utterly terrible, but it's not much more than 3 hours. I haven't sprayed real heavy to do that kind of test. I've sprayed normal, like my 6 to 8 spray routine, and I'm getting 3 hours. The first hour, it is projecting decent. It's pumping off decent, but it evaporates quite quickly. So spray away. If you guys have sprayed heavy, let me know. I feel like some of you guys might get good performance out of this, but yeah, on me, it's about a 3-hour max fragrance. Out of the shower, whatever, quick errand. This thing's awesome. Keep it in your car, gym bag or something like that. Really, really nice for the price. Last but not least, a fragrance that I think is criminally underrated because this thing never gets talked about. It gets outshined by some of the other clones, and the other clones are good. They're just like kind of the new kids on the block, so it's the bigger and better one, I guess, because everybody's looking for that fresh new thing, right? Even though it's cloning something that's been out. This is another Jean Paul Gaultier clone. Ultra male, one of the best ones. Very sweet, playful, bubblegummy, long-lasting, loud, youthful, club-type fragrance. Here's one that you can find for under 20 bucks. Sometimes like $13, $14, $15. Karen Lowe's Exchange Wonderman. You get it on Amazon all day long for $20 or $21. But if you go on like some of your discounters, you can get this thing for a really, really low price. It is ultra male minus some of the spice. This is pear, mint, cinnamon, dashes of coriander and sage, creamy vanilla, and a little bit of patchouli. That's the main things that I get in this. It's very, very sweet, bubblegummy, creamy, cinnamon, some sweetness from that vanilla. That pear plays such a good role in this thing. It's ultra creamy bubblegummy. I don't know where there we go. Pretty good guess. You can't like really see the atomizer tip because it's black and everything else is black. There we go. And yeah, I got a little bubble there. Had the bottle for a little bit now, but you can see the dent that I've taken out of this thing right there. And in Florida, we don't get that many opportunities to wear these cold weather type fragrances because that is exactly what this is, because it is so sweet and creamy and bubblegummy and playful. It's best for the cold weather. That's just in my opinion. The performance overall is pretty good. I'm getting a higher end of average, like a 6-hour thing. I'm not going to say it's some kind of beast, but it doesn't disappoint. It performs decent. I think on some people, this thing is a beast, but on me, it's average, strong average, super underrated, decent quality. Doesn't smell like some kind of nose on fire, burning synthetic mess or anything like that. It smells a lot like Ultra Male, minus just a dash of that spice. It's a good fragrance. If you like Ultra Male, check it out. So, these 5 fragrances, I think, really just deserve more love, you know? Everybody's looking for that new best thing. I myself included, you know, you got your new hype beasts that are out and stuff right now, and it's fun to discover new fragrances, but sometimes I just like to shine the spotlight on things that have been kind of forgotten about or just overlooked altogether. So, that's those 5 fragrances. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.